Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamai. Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Namah Shri Shankarananda Gurupadam Pujanmani Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Grasaika Karmani. Okay, let's read the verses we covered last time. So we're going to read from verse number 32. Okay, so we'll read from 32 to 36. Okay. Anvayavyatirekaabhyam dhimayo jiva bandhakrita satyasmin sukha dukkhe staha tasmin nasati nadvayam asatyapi cha bahyarthe swapnadau padhyate naraha samadhi sushupti murchasu satyapyasmin na badhyate duradesham gate putre jivatyevatra tatpita vipralambhaka vakyena vritam matva praroditi mritepi tasmin vartayam ashrutayam naroditi atas sarvasya jivasya bandhakrinmanasam jagata vijnanavado bahyartha vaithyat syad iheti chet na hridyakaramadhatum bhakyasyapekshitatvataha. So here, what the thought flow is so far is Jiva Srishti and Ishvara Srishti have been established. But now we're trying to prove that Jiva Srishti is the cause of bondage, meaning the mental creation that we have in the mind is the cause of bondage and not the external creation, not Ishvara Srishti. So in order to do that, we apply the method of Anvaya Vyatireka, presence and absence, co-presence and co-absence. So we try to prove that when the mind is there, then bondage is there. And when the mind is not there, then bondage is not there. And bondage is known as sukha dukkha, this constant joy, sorrow, rising and decreasing, ups and downs. That's known as bondage because every time we're living on the edge. When we're happy, we know that it's going to come down. And when we're sad, we just can't wait for it to go up. So it's always like we're living on the edge. So this was established, but a question arises that it could also be the world that's the cause of bondage. Because when the world is there, there's bondage. And when the world's not there, there's no bondage. So is the cause of bondage the mind or is it the world? So in verse number 33, it proves that it's the mind. How so? It says, look, even if there's no experience of the external world, in dream you can have bondage. So you don't have an experience of the external world in dream, but still one can have bondage. They can have a nightmare. or they can have a really nice dream that they don't want to wake up. So there's that sense of, I want this to last, I want this to be there. Or there's the feeling of being frightened. And at the same time, in samadhi, although your body is in the external world, one doesn't have any bondage because the mind is completely dissolved. And we gave example of great saints and sages, right? One example is Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi Ji, how his skin was literally peeled off, but he didn't feel a thing because his mind was in samadhi. So in verse 33, it's trying to say, look, even if the world is not there, you still have bondage, like in dream. And even if the world is there, you don't have bondage like in samadhi, or even in fainting or in deep sleep. In deep sleep, if somebody's in really deep sleep, mosquitoes can bite you or termites can bite you, but you won't feel a thing. And sometimes when we wake up, we don't know what happened. So, or when we're sleeping, so many things can happen, but we don't know. So Vidyaranyaji's thought flow goes this way, and then he says, let me tell you an example to make this point very clear. What's the example? In verse 34, he says, look, even if this happened, let's say there was a father and his son went far away for work or whatever it was, and his son is perfectly fine, perfectly in good health. But somebody who's cunning comes and tells the father, your son died. Now the son is alive, but the father, on hearing that news of death, cries, roditi, praroditi, cries. And why is the father crying? Not because the son is actually dead, but because in his mind, the son died. So what is the cause of bondage then? And in the same way, if you flip the example, let us say now, the son actually died, but the father didn't get the news. So the father thinks everything's perfectly okay. The son is fine. The son's family is fine because the son died, but the father never knew about it, never got the news. So the father's mind is peaceful and the son died. So what's the cause of the peaceful mind of the father? Is it the fact that the son died? That wouldn't give any peace to the father. Or in the father's mind, the son is fine. So where is the bondage? Is the bondage in the world or is in the mind? So in these methods, Swami Vidyaranyaji says, it's the mind. Now, in verse number 36, where we left off before, he says, this is like Vijnanavadi, the Vijnanavadins, right? So the Vijnanavada school of Buddhism, what do they believe? Bahyartha Vayarthyat. They believe that there's no external object. There's actually no external object. So the Vijnanavadins, they say that there's no external object, and the real truth is this momentary consciousness, which they call Vijnana. It's momentary, flickering consciousness. And everything is just that flickering consciousness. So there's actually no external object. And so all the bondage lies in the mind. Because there's no external object, all the bondage is in the mind. And here, the objection is, isn't your school like that? Oh, Advaitavadin, isn't your school like that? Like the Vijnanavadin. And Advaitavadin says it's not like that because in Advaita Vedanta, we believe that there is an external appearance of an object. The external appearance is definitely there. And that external appearance of an object is not something that our mind created. That external appearance is Ishvara Srishti, is what Ishvara has created. And the internal appearance is Jiva Srishti. Both of them, the external appearance and the internal appearance, both are projections on Brahman. And Brahman is not momentary consciousness. Brahman is that changeless consciousness. So what's the difference between the two schools? The Vijnanavada school says there's no actual external object. Advaita Vedānta says that is not true. There's an external appearance of the object. It may be just an appearance, but yes, the appearance is there. The Vijnanavada school says all of this is nothing but momentary consciousness. Advaita Vedānta says no, it is all superimposed on changeless consciousness. Because even if you posit momentary consciousness, how do you know it's momentary? Somebody has to witness it to know it's momentary. And if you're not witnessing, or if nobody knows or is aware that it's momentary, then how can you prove that it's momentary? So although they are different in these realms, they are the same in that the internal bondage is from the mind. The bondage is from the mind. Both of them say that. So in that, they're both very aligned. That bondage is not coming from outside, it's coming from our own minds. But they are different schools. Okay? Now today we'll start from verse number 37. Okay? Vayarthyam astu va bahyam navarayitum ishmahe prayojanam apekshante namananiti stitihi. Vayarthyam astu. Vayarthyam means astu. Astu, let it be vayarthyam, purposeless. Let the external objects be purposeless. Bahyam, they're the external ones. Navaraitum ishmahe, but we cannot deny it. Navaraitum ishmahe. Ishmahe, we're not able to deny it. Varaitum, deny it. Prayojanam apekshante. Na, they are not apekshante. They are not dependent on prayojanam. Prayojanam means usefulness. They're not dependent on usefulness. Na mana niti. So this mana niti means the mana. Mana is pramana, the means of knowledge. Hi stitihi. It is concerned with the existence of objects, not the purposefulness of objects. So, or we may admit that external objects serve little useful purpose, yet we cannot dispense with them altogether. In any case, cognition is concerned with the existence of objects and not with their utility. So what does this mean? It means it's true that bondage is caused by the mind, which is internal, but that doesn't mean that external objects are not required or not necessary. It does not mean that we can dispense of them. It does not mean we can say there are no external objects. Just because bondage is in the internal mind doesn't mean we can say there's no external objects. They're there appearing. And they're appearing even if they don't serve any purpose. When we walk outside in the garden, trees are appearing, plants, grass, so many different people are appearing. Even if they don't serve any purpose to us, they're still appearing. Or when we go to a web page, we're trying to look something up. All these ads come up, right? They don't serve any purpose to us, but they're still appearing. we go to the supermarket and we only have a grocery list of 3 or 4 things, but the whole supermarket is appearing to us. We don't need all of that stuff, but it's appearing. So the external appearance doesn't have anything to do with purposefulness. Just because it doesn't cause bondage, that doesn't mean that it's not there, or that doesn't mean that we can just dispense of it. It's there. It's appearing. Even if it may be no use to us, it's appearing. We cannot deny that. And let it be there. Advaita Vedantin has absolutely no problem with the external appearance of the world. Let it be. It's okay. Let the world be. We have no problem. So now here, as it said also here, that in Yogachara, the Vijnanavada, they do not even admit the existence of external objects. But in Vedanta, it says that thorns serve no purpose on the road, but we cannot deny their existence. They're there. Now, another school comes up, and this is called the school of yoga. The school of yoga, Patañjali school of yoga. So earlier it was a Buddhist school, now it's a school of yoga. What is their objection? Bandashchenmanasam dvaitam tannirodhena shamyati abhyased yogame vato brahmajnanena kim vada. Says here, bandashchet manasam dvaita, meaning if this dvaitam here means this world, the realm of duality here is this world, bandaha, if the bondage of this world is manasam, it's only in the mind, it's only in the mind, then tannirodhena shamyati, then by calming the mind, nirodhena, tan means the mind here, tat. By calming the mind, shamyati, all this bondage will disappear. So by calming the mind, by silencing the mind, all the bondage will disappear. Abhyaset yogam eva taha. So therefore, this yoga, abhyaset, it should be practiced. This kind of yoga of controlling the mind, dissolving the mind, this should be practiced. Brahmajnanena kim vada? What's the purpose of Brahmajnana? What's the purpose of knowledge of the self? Let's just practice yoga. Objection. If the mind causes bondage by giving rise to the phenomenal world, the world could be made to disappear by controlling the mind. So only yoga needs to be practiced. What is the necessity of the knowledge of Brahman? It's a very nice objection here, because yoga means citta-vṛtti-nirodha. It literally means the cessation of all thoughts. The cessation of all thoughts. So when we cease all of the thoughts, when we sit in samādhi and the whole entire mind is quietened, then there's no bondage. So why don't we just keep practicing this? Why do we have to come to the knowledge of the self? In fact, many people like this practice. That's why people like to go to a yoga class, or a meditation class, or a silent retreat. They enjoy all of these experiences because then the mind becomes quiet and there's no bondage. So people strive to get these experiences. In and through their daily lives, they strive, they sign up for these things because they want to feel this peace. But there's a problem with this peace. After a while, it becomes pieces, right? Yoga class is wonderful. But when we get out back into our day-to-day routine again, we're bogged down by everything. Silent retreat is also wonderful. I also enjoy them. Beautiful. But the minute you come back, there's all this stuff that you have to deal with again. So while this practice is great, it is tatkalika. It is just momentary. And this is what's going to be said now in verse 39. This is the reply. Tatkalika dvaita shantau apyagami janikshayah brahmajnanam vina na syad iti vedanta dindemaha. So here it says tatkalika. Tatkalika means just for a moment, just for a given set of time. Dvaita shantau. There is the cessation of bondage, of duality, of the world, just for a moment. Api agami janikshaya, meaning in the final destruction, brahmajnanam vina nasyat. Agami janikshaya means in that final destruction cannot happen. Nasyat vina brahmajnana. It cannot happen without the knowledge of the self. Iti Vedānta dinnimaha. And this is the cry, the proclamation, the loud drumbeat of Vedānta. So Vedānta is not saying don't practice meditation. Meditation is a great tool. And Vedānta is not saying don't practice yoga asanas. It's a great, great, wonderful tool. All Vedānta is saying is that do all of this, but it's only momentary. We will just get momentary peace. Just get momentary peace. Without the knowledge of the self, there is no way we're going to have lasting peace. There's just no way. Because as soon as we come out, we're always trying to do something to keep our peace. It's like a constant struggle. Yeah, so when we come out of these peaceful states, again in our external environment, we want to arrange it so that we feel peace. Or we want to fix our mind so that we feel peace. And the whole struggle is just to get peace, to get peace, to get peace, to get peace. It's a constant struggle. And after some time, we get tired. The struggle for peace shouldn't be tiresome. It should also be peaceful, right? Vedānta says, why are you struggling? You are of the nature of peace. You don't have to struggle to find it, to get it, to feel it, to know it, to be in it. You are it. And once we know that we are it, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the mind is quite okay. If the mind is not quite okay. Because one has realized not only the falsity of the word, but also the falsity of the mind. This is the real peace. So the school of yoga is incredibly helpful, but it is not the ultimate solution. And this is what now he's going to say in verse number 40. He said, you don't even have to remove creation. You just have to remove the reality of creation. There's a difference. Yoga school says, remove creation, silence the mind. Vedānta says, remove the reality of creation. Mind or no mind, you don't mind. Let us read this one now. Anivrittepi sasrishte, anivrittepi sasrishte, dvaite tasya mrishatmatam, Buddhva brahmadvayam bodhum shakyam vastvaikyavadinaha anivritte, anivritte api, meaning without removing Isha Srishti, without removing the creation of Ishvara. That dvaita, this world, without removing it, tasya mrishatmata jagataha, of that world, just know that it's false. Mrishatmata. Buddhva, having known this, brahmadvayam bodhum shakyam, then one can truly know bodhum shakyam, that non-dual Brahman, brahmadvayam, vastvaikyavadinaha, and by the non-dualists. The non-dualists themselves can know this. So the duality of Ishvara's creation may continue. Let it continue. But the non-dualist, when convinced of its illusoriness, can nonetheless know the secondless Brahman. So here, let creation continue because we cannot destroy it. You know, when people are mad in their kitchen, they can go through glasses and plates and scream and shout, but we cannot destroy a forest or the sun or rivers. We cannot physically destroy a whole thing. We cannot destroy Ishvara's creation. People can destroy parts of things, but they cannot destroy Ishvara's creation. Nobody will be able to do it. When you wake up, it's going to be there. When you wake up from sleep, it's going to be there. When we wake up from samādhi, it's going to be there. So there's no point in making an effort to destroy Ishvara's creation. We cannot do it. Let Ishvara's creation continue. But just know the falsity of it. Now first we'll go into why should we know the falsity of it? Then how do we know the falsity of it? Why should we know the falsity? Because our struggles in life are only because we think the world is real. Now see this for a moment. When we think the world is real for us, we see it as a place of fulfillment. We see that in this world, it is very real, and through the world, I can fulfill myself. So the first step is we have a citta-adhyasa. Citta-adhyasa means we superimpose reality of the world. And the minute we superimpose reality in the world, we have what we call shobhana or ashobhana adhyasa, the superimposition of happiness or sadness in the world. We think it's real, we think it's there, then we feel like, this will bring me happiness. Attaining this will bring me happiness. Or letting go of this will bring me happiness. We start to superimpose this. So when I have a family, it will bring me happiness. When I buy this house, when I study this course, when I meet these people, it will bring me a sense of happiness. When I have so much money, it will bring me that. We feel this. So after that, step 3 is we have raga dvesha. To those things which we feel will bring us happiness, we have raga, we have like towards it, attraction. And to those things which we feel will cause us sorrow, we have aversion, if dvesha. I don't want that, it will cause me sorrow. And guess where all of our time is going? Step 4, pravritti-nivritti. All of our time, all of our effort is going to acquire something in the world which will make us happy, or trying to force something out of the world which is making us sad. All the effort, all the time, everything we're doing is only this. Pravritti-nivritti. We're only putting forth effort to get something in the world to fulfill us, or to push something out of the world because it's disturbing our wholeness. Or so we're doing all of this. And this disturbs our peace. Because no matter how much can we acquire? No matter how much we acquire day to day, no matter how many relationships, how much wealth, how many things we acquire, when will it stop? We still want more. There's an unending lobha, there's an unending greed for more. And when we try to push people away, push things away, how much can we do that? How much can we push things away, avoid things, escape things? How much can we do that? We cannot. So here it's saying, when we think the world is real, all of this will start. All of these struggles will start. But when I know that the world is not absolutely real, it's not apart from me, then there's no struggle. The people are always in a rush towards something or rush away from something, towards, away, eternal struggle. When we know that the world is not absolutely real, we just flow with it. That's it. If it goes this way, okay. If it goes that way, okay. What are we gonna do? That's the nature of the world. It will flow. So somebody who knows that although the shell, it looks like there's silver in it, it looks like there's silver shining on the shell, actually there's no silver, it's just shell. But when I see silver shining on the shell and I think it's really silver, I'm going to run towards the shell. But if I examine it and I say it's just a shell, okay. For somebody who's seeing the snake on the rope, if somebody's fooled by that, they're going to run away because the snake's there. But somebody who dares to inquire and says it's just a rope, what are you doing? Okay, let it be. If it's just a rope, let it be. If it's just a shell, let it be. There's no need to run after or run away from it. Whatever has to come into our lives will come, and whatever has to go will go. Our thing is just to follow our dharma. Just follow our dharma and let things come and let things go. So here it says, no need. This is why not to run after the world, because or run away from the world, because it's a constant struggle and it's exhausting. But how is the world false? It's very, very simple. And we see this example all the time. It's a wave in the water, right? The wave, you can say the ocean and the water. The wave is Jiva, ocean is Ishvara, but the reality of both of them is just water. So all of this in me also, this body, mind, intellect complex, it's just an appearance. It's just an appearance because it keeps on changing. And it's an appearance because it cannot exist without consciousness. When you call it appearance, appearance means it exists on a substratum. It exists on a substratum. So this body, mind, intellect, this ego, where is it existing? It's existing in consciousness. If we remove consciousness from it, it doesn't exist. So that is why it's called illusion. It's called mrisha. It's called mithya. Just like if we remove the gold from the bracelet, necklace, the ring, the bracelet is not there anymore, nor the ring, nor the necklace. If we take this whole world of names and forms, you remove consciousness from it, and it all collapses. It all collapses. Everybody says Big Bang, but so how do you know there's a Big Bang? Who has a thought of Big Bang? Who's establishing the existence of Big Bang? Big Bang, you can say exists, but who's establishing the existence of Big Bang? Isn't it consciousness? So therefore, the existence of anything is established only because of consciousness. You can say the world's existing. Who is saying that? Who's ascertaining that? The world's not saying it. Is the world saying I'm existing? No. It's established in consciousness. So consciousness is our reality. And all of this is just an appearance. And when that dawns on us, then the non-dual Brahman is known. That everything is actually Brahman. Everything is actually Brahman. So, as I mentioned before, I gave all of you this acronym, RIP. Huh? No need to RIP. RIP means no need to resist anything. No need to insist on anything. No need to persist about anything. R, no need to resist. I, no need to insist. P, no need to persist. Just let it go. Just let it go. Let the world be because it's Brahman. Let it be. Now, that Advaitin is saying, if you keep insisting on dissolving the mind, dissolving the whole creation, all of that, it's not going to do us any good in the long run. Why? Here's what he says now in verse number 41. Pralaye tannivrittau tu guru shastradhya bhavataha virodidvaita bhavepi na shakyam bodhumadvayam. He says, Pralaye tannivrittau. So, when duality, tat nivrittau, tat here's a duality. When duality, when the world disappears, where pralaya, in the dissolution, in the cosmic dissolution, when the world disappears, what happens? Tu is here's to say, when, if this happens, Guru Shastradi Abhavataha, there won't be any Guru. There won't be any Shastra. There won't be any Guru. There won't be any scriptures. Virodhi Dvaita Abhave Api. Virodhi Dvaita Abhave Api. Even if there is, even if all of this disappears, Narshakyam bodhum advayam. We cannot know that non-dual self. Even if when the whole world ceases, there's no bondage. Virodhi dvaita abhave. Even if there's no bondage, when this whole world ceases, there's no bondage, still it's not good for us in the long run, because we cannot know the non-dual self. When all duality disappears, at the time of the dissolution of the universe, the secondless Atman still remains unknown, because then, as in deep sleep, there is no teacher, no scripture, though there may be absence of duality. So even if dvaita abhava, even if there's an absence of duality there, there still cannot be the knowledge of Advaita. So let's look at this for a moment, right? The objection here that comes is just keep practicing silence of mind. Keep dissolving the mind, keep dissolving the mind, keep making it quiet. That and all is good. But remember, as we said, we're not trying to remove also the mind. We're trying to remove the reality ascribed to the mind. Huh? So we're doing it on two levels. We're not removing the world. Advaita doesn't say remove the world. Advaita says remove the reality of the world. Advaita doesn't say remove the mind. Advaita says remove the reality of the mind. We don't have to keep practicing all of that. And we don't have to wait for cosmic disillusion also. Huh? Let the mind be. It will be. What are you going to do with it? There's only so much control that we can ascribe to the mind. After, of course, we purify the mind, we make it single-pointed, we do all of that with the mind. After we do that, we have to then transcend it. We can't keep controlling it. Once the mind is made sattvic, we have to step aside and go beyond sattva. Because the mind will keep fluttering, just like the world keeps fluttering between sattva, rajas, and tamas, the three gunas. Sometimes it's calm, sometimes it's active, sometimes it's totally dormant. The mind is also going to be like that. Sometimes it's calm, sometimes it's hyperactive, sometimes it's totally dormant. Let it be. And if we try to keep seizing the mind or seizing the world, there will be no guru in Shastra. We will never know who we are. Knowledge of the self doesn't happen through quietening the mind. It happens through clear inquiry of our true nature. And for this, Guru, Shastra, etc. are required. The scriptures are required because the scriptures contain the revelations of truth. So scriptures are required. It doesn't have to be only Hindu scriptures. It can be any scripture that tells us who we are. That scripture is required. And a teacher is required because the teacher can bring it to our level to make us understand from our standpoint. That's why the Upanishads teachings, they vary so much because the teacher always comes to the level of the student. If we were just to take the scriptures and read by ourselves, it would be very difficult to understand. When we have somebody to break it down for us, word by word, step by step, and relate it to our day-to-day lives, then the words of the scriptures come alive. One Mahatma said, back in the day we had CD players and a CD, right? Now we don't have. But this example he gave, which I thought was really brilliant, he said the Shastras, our scriptures, are like CDs, but the Guru is like the CD player. The Guru will play it and make music of it. So that's the purpose of Guru Shastra. And it says Guru Shastra Adi, meaning all of this is also helpful. We don't only need the teacher here, teacher Swami Vidyaranyaji. We don't only need and Panchadashi, but we need Zoom. Right? We need Zoom, we need a place, we need food, we need shelter, we need clothing. If we were all hungry and famished, we would not be able to learn. If we didn't have a safe place to stay, we would not be able to learn. If we didn't have some kind of stability in our family or community, we would be so disturbed, we would not be able to learn. So all of this is useful to learn who we are. Therefore, Advaita is not for dissolving the world or dissolving the mind all the time. We can, from time to time, make the mind quiet. Why not? It's a nice practice, but we don't have to get attached to it and feel that that is moksha. That is not moksha. Moksha means whether your mind is there or not, you don't mind. Whether the world is there or not, you don't mind. There's an absolute freedom. There's no struggle to keep anything. There's no struggle to remove anything. There's just pure being. That's freedom. Freedom is pure being. One more verse we're going to see in this aspect. It's very, very beautiful. Abādhakam sādhakam cha dvaitam ishvara nirmitam apanetumashakyam cheti aṣṭāṅ tadvishyate kutaha. Abādhakam, obstacle. Sādhakam cha. It's meaning abādhakam. It's not an obstacle, sadhakam. It's something that's going to help us. It's a means, it's a tool, it's not an obstacle. Dvaitam ishvara nirmitam. This dvaitam, which is ishvara nirmitam, which is created by Ishvara, it is not an obstacle. It's a sadhakam, it's a tool for us. Apanetum ashakyam cheti. So what if we're not able to remove it? Let it be. Aṣṭāṅga. Let it be. Tadvishyate kutaha. Why should one be opposed to the world? Let it be. The world of duality created by Ishvara is rather a help than an obstacle to a direct knowledge of non-duality. Moreover, we cannot destroy creation, so let it be. Why are you opposed to it? So here, the world, how does an Advaitin see the world? The world is not a place of fascination for an Advaitin. Because there's nothing that they can get out of it to complete that. Nor is it a place of disgust. Some people also have a disgust for the world. No. For the Advaitin, the world is a place of God. The world is an expression of God. So let it be. The world is in fact helping us. It's a sadhaka. It is a tool for us. Imagine, to come to this knowledge, what we need is called citta-vṛtti and citta-ekagrata. Citta-vṛtti, a pure mind. Citta-ekagrata, a single-pointed mind. To attain a pure mind, each and every person in our lives are helping us do that. Some relations may be good, some may be not so good. But when the relationships are good, they're giving us such peace and love and care and giving us such positivity. When the relationships are tough, it teaches us patience, teaches us forgiveness. It teaches us to be a little bit detached, to keep distance. All of these things are purifying our minds, are they not? When in the world things work out for us, when, let us say, in the airport, we're traveling, everything's comfortable, it gives us a sense of peace and ease. But when there's so much discomfort, when there's delay, when there's so much crowd, it gives us a sense of strength. It gives us the ability to bear forbearance. It gives us strength. When we go through good times, good economic status, prosperity in the country, all of that, it gives us a sense of, ease. But when there are very trying times in the world, it makes us turn inward, does it not? So let the world be, because it is giving us in all facets purity of mind. When things are good, it's giving us calmness and peace. When things are not so good, it's teaching us resilience. It's teaching us forbearance, strength, forgiveness, patience. All of these values are required to know that non-dual self. All of these values are required to make the mind sattvic. And citta-vṛtti-nirodha, single-pointedness of mind, that those practices of praying to Ishvara in different forms, or seeing Ishvara in the entire creation, or being around nature and losing ourselves, doesn't that make the mind so subtle and focused? So Advaitin doesn't see the world as fascination, doesn't see the world as disgust, doesn't try to get rid of the world, doesn't also try to run towards the world. They see the world as a place of God, as their own self, as a place to continuously turn them inward and help them realize the self. All they see is that reality. They do not see anything else. So let the world be. It is not an obstacle. It is only beautiful means to know who we are. Right? So with this, we stop today. So what was Swami Vidyaranyaji's teachings? Very beautiful today. It says, look, this external world, if you say you want to get rid of it, like the yoga school, and silence the mind, that's a beautiful practice, but you can't silence the mind forever. It's only tatkalika, only momentary. So the only permanent peace we will get is by knowing the non-dual self. So even if creation goes on, we're not trying to remove it. Even if the mind goes on, we're not trying to remove it. We're only removing the reality given to creation and the reality given to the mind. Because once you remove the reality, we don't struggle anymore. We don't run towards or run away. And if there be a total cessation of everything, we would never know the truth, because there would be no guru and shastra. And there would be none of these places and spaces to help us turn within. And therefore, really, we do not see this world as an obstacle. We see it as a beautiful expression of Ishvara. Whatever it is, let it be. We are absolutely not opposed to it. Advaita is not opposed to anything, because there's nothing other than it. So what can it oppose? Let it be. Be grateful for Ishvara Srishti. Right? Stop here with a closing prayer. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.